Welcome back, Global War in 1939. We are moving on to the Japanese sixth turn of the game, and it's going to be a fair amount going on. But before we get into anything, let's take a look at our purchases. The Japanese do have 81 to spend. Now, like most nations on turn 6, you get more units become unlocked. It's no different for the Japanese. They unlock their self-propelled artillery unit, which is essentially just it's an artillery that can move 2 spaces, which is the biggest benefit. So you don't need to pair it with mechs anymore. And they attack and defend with 2 dice at 2, and they still boost an infantry, so they're quite handy for sure. I believe we're allowed maximum of 3, so we're getting all 3 now. And then we're going to get 3 more regular infantry, 2 special naval landing force for 15. Our free Siamese infantry for us. Transport 2 destroyers for 7 each, a cruiser for 11, and then our Armado for 22, which will be the entire $81. Now, for our actual attacks, we got about 7 battles to conduct, 3 of which are just walk-in, so not that big a deal, and the other 2 are just defended by 1 infantry. So we got 2 sizable battles. Now, with here, the Americans decide to come down with their main fleet in 95. Now, this goes to my regret of not destroying these bases. I should have got rid of those on the previous turn. I thought about it, but I didn't do it. Now, if we attack, we can the amount of units we can get into 95. Basically, if we're thinking about low luck, we can hit or potentially should hit him for about 9 hits. He can hit us back for 6, but a lot of the units he would sustain are like weaker units that you don't even really care about. The units that we have that he would hit us with, we do absolutely care about, and we don't want to lose them. We would actually lose this exchange, and mainly due to this airbase and these 3 scrambles, which he certainly would and should scramble, which would give him the upper hand slightly, not a lot, but he would slightly have the upper hand, and we're putting a lot of useful, expensive units at risk for really no reason at this point. So what we're going to do with this situation, we're going to back out slightly. We're going to regroup, add more ships to our Navy. So this is the Navy that we're talking about up here. That's in Carillion 88. But if we add more ships, a couple more capital ships, destroyers, that would give us the upper hand. And we'll position it in such a way that if he stays, then we'll attack and he'll lose. But if he wants to move to safety, which he probably should, where he moves to safety will give us a lot more breathing room and get him out of our Japanese territory, which would set us up for recapturing the Carolina Islands. And then at that point, we would have to destroy those bases, because we certainly don't want them to have it, right? So that's going to be the game plan here. We're gonna put the ball back in his hands, to either stay and get destroyed or move to safety, but giving us breathing room. So no matter what he does, it's going to benefit us, right? Okay, so now for the actual attacks, well, 2 of which are just walk in here, Guam and New Guinea. Normally, we probably wouldn't even think about Guam, but we do need it for the our $5 bonus for the Money Islands. So that's really the only reason why we're going in there. Dutch East Indies, we need to take that out, and this would reduce the Anzac money supply by 3, reducing them down to 9 before bonus income. So quite handy for us. And then up in China, we need to continue our campaign up there. So it's going to be 3 battles. 2 of these battles are just defended by lone infantry. And then he has his most of his attack power up in here in that Communist China territory. But it's only being defended with 2 infantry, so he doesn't have a big shield. So if we get rid of his tanks, his cavalry, that severely cuts down his mobility, and then he and then his blitz ability will be gone as well. He'll still have 9 artillery, which is stupid scary for China, but he'll be limited to 1 space, and he won't be able to blitz or move won't be able to maneuver as much, right? So that's the idea there. And then, of course, we need to take out Sumatra. So we're finally going in here. We're probably 2 turns a little late and getting in there, but we had other priorities. Him killing 3 of our transports didn't help. Otherwise, we would have taken it the turn, last turn, right? But here we are. All right, so let's start conducting these. I think we have a good game plan. If all works out well, our economy should grow by $17. So we'll be quickly approaching that $100 mark that we want to get to. So here is just a walk in from Dutch New Guinea to New Guinea. This territory down here, we're going to grab this transport 92, move down 3 spaces because of the port. 1, 2, 3. Grab an artillery and then capture that. So that's now under our control, and we capture that from Australia. For Guam, we got a transport up in 124, so we're going to go to 106. 107. Grab a Special Naval Landing Force from the Philippines, go into Guam, and walk in. Boom, that's now captured. We're going to put that transport at a bit of a risk, but what are you going to do? So that transport will probably be killed, more likely. Now for Dutch or Sumatra, we have another transport in Dutch New Guinea. So that's going to come, and it's got a naval port. So we're going to move over 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and grab the infantry from here and the artillery from Celebes. Are we going to do that? Or yeah, that should be fine. And then we'll land them in Sumatra. Now, he does have a flower class that we need to kill first before we can actually land. Now, here in 85, we have sizable navy. We got 4 cruisers, an Armado, 2 transports, and a couple of small carriers. So this fleet is going to come down to 70 as well. And then they're going to pick up from Siam 2 Special Naval Landing Force, an amphibious tank, and an artillery. So it's 6 versus 5, but we're also going to add 3 veteran fighters from Siam, move down 2 spaces, so they'll have a movement of 3 left. But of course, the planes in this fleet, which is a 0, and torpedo bomber, they're going to be joining as well. The Armado, are we going to bombard? Probably not. And he doesn't have any scrambles or anything like that. So we'll have we're going to leave a cruiser behind. So we're going to have an Armado and 3 cruisers bombarding. Not bombarding, sorry. Fighting this flower class. So no bombardments, but we got 5 fighters and 6 ground units going in. We should clean that up pretty easily. Now, up in China, that's where things get a little tricky because we only got 1 big army, but we got 3 targets. So for this Communist China territory with all of its tanks, we can only get units that can move 2 spaces. So we're going to bring our 2 tanks, our 3 light tanks. This amphibious tank is going to move up 2, which is essentially another light tank. 3 cavalry, a mech, an artillery. We got a tactical from Shanghai. So 1, 2, 3. He'll have a movement of 2 left. Our bomber from Siam. So he's got a movement of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he'll have 3 left. Regular fighter from Siam. I got movement of 5 total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Movement of 1 left. And then we're going to bring up a veteran fighter. Putting our Air Force at a little bit of risk because he does have an AA gun, which is highly annoying. But what are you going to do? For Chupei, we're going to bring in 2 infantry. And our last veteran fighter from Siam, again, movement of 5, 1, 2, 3. And he'll have movement of 2 left. And then, oh my goodness, we forgot about French Indochina. We're going to have to go in there as well, as he has an infantry. So we're going to bring this infantry from Kashai, bring him down with an artillery, and 1 more infantry from Siam. So it'll be 2 infantry, artillery versus him. I think this is good. All right, let's start conducting these battles. So 3 of which are already done. They were just walk-ins. Let's do the small ones first, and then we'll work our way up to the more bigger battles. Okay, so let's do the Navy conflict first. So he has a Flower class. We have an Amato. And 3 cruisers. So there's no reason why we're going to lose this. All right, so the Amato at 9. Got a 6. He returns at a 3. Got a 7. Perfect. So that's done. Now this clears the C zone, which now allows our guys to offload and attack. So let's do that now. And he has all infantry of mixed nations. So there's British, Dutch, and Australian. And then, all right, everything. Okay. So now, the amphibious tank, it's a +1 for being offloaded by transport. Same thing with these 3 Special Naval Landing Force. Now, the tank also provides an increased infantry, just like artillery, so combined arms. So all 3 of these will get another +1. So they're sitting at 4. All right, so the 2 artillery at 3. 1, 2. Oh my goodness, wow. Can you see all that? Yes. 3 infantry at 4. 5, 9, 8. And then the tank at 5. Got a 9. Fighter at 6. Got a 6. Excellent. So we need 2 more hits. And then the fighters, so torpedo bomber and the veteran fighters at 7. So 5, 5, 7, 12. Perfect. So we got 6 hits total. That's everything that is required. And he has 5 coming back at us. So 2 hits. So 10, 11, 9, 3, 4. So we lose 2 guys. What are we going to lose? Ooh. Not good. I guess the 2 Special Naval Landing Force. That hurts. But we do capture the territory with 4 units, and then we'll figure out where the planes are going. 2 of the planes are obviously going back to the transport, to the carriers, and then we'll worry about the other 3 in a second. More likely to Siam. Actually, in fact, yes, they will be going back to Siam. and the fighters going back to the carriers. Now, this does put our fleet in a slight jeopardy from the FEC, but I'm the three scramble fighters. So if he does attack that fleet, I'm definitely doing the scramble, right? Okay, let's do the French Indochina. So we got 1 at 2, 6, 2 at 3, 2, 6, excellent. And then he returns with a 7. Okay, so that's back under our control, as it should be. Let's do Szechuan, which is the bulk of our infantry. So 2 heavy artillery, 2 artillery, 6 regular infantry, and airborne, 7 veterans. So we got a lot going on. So let's do the heavy artillery. How many we got there? We got 2. So that gives us 4 dice. So this is out of 4. 3, 8, 10, 5. Perfect. He returns with 11. Okay. So we take the Chinese capital with no losses. That's fantastic. Let's do the small Chupei battle. So 2 at 2. Both miss. And then the fighter at 7. Got a 4. Excellent. Return at a 4. Got a 5. Perfect. Alright, so that's gone. So that's another territory back under our control. And we'll figure out that fighter in a second. Alright, what is next? Just a big battle now, really. Alright, so I'm not sure if he really expected this battle to happen. And we're slightly putting a few planes at risk. But we kind of need them in this battle. Okay, and then the tactical will increase a tank up to a 7. The artillery will increase the mech. Now we have 4 planes, so he gets 4 dice with the AA gun. Now this is really the scary part about this battle. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so 7, 5, 6, 1. So we lose 1 fighter due to the AA gun, so obviously that's going to be our regular fighter. So that's a loss. That's unfortunate. Not good. All right. Continuing on. So that AA gun is done for the battle. Guess it did its job. So this is at 3 for the artillery, cavalry. So 3s. So that's a miss. So we got 1 hit. So 10, 4, 5, 2. The bomber. And then the 4 light tanks. All at 4. Alright, slightly better. Not really. 5, 5, 10, 11, 4, 3. So we're up to 3 hits. The tank at 6. 9. And then 3 at 7. 2, 9, 11. So we have 4 hits. I think that's slightly under average. Not good. Not good. All right. So he returns with 3 at 2. 3, 8, 11. Okay. That's pretty well expected at that level. And then 5 at 4. So that fell off, but it was 6. So 10, 6, 9, 10, and 1 hit. There's actually 1 hit. The one that fell off, I'm just going to re-roll that just to keep it fair. 11. Okay. Doesn't change anything. So we lose 1 guy. We're going to lose the mech, I guess. And then he loses 4, so it's obviously the AA gun and the 3 cavalry. Okay, not too bad. So we fought under expectation, but so did he. So we're still in this. All right, so 4 at 3. 3, 10, 6, 4. So that's 1 hit. The bomber, and then the 4 tanks at 4. 11, 10, 12, 7, 10, 2. Tank at 6. 10, and then 3 at 7. 1, 4. So we have 4 hits again. We needed 5. Oh my goodness. So he gets 5 return. 7, 5, 8, 12, 2. So he gets 1 hit. So we'll lose the artillery. Should we lose the artillery or cavalry? Yeah, we'll lose the cavalry, actually. Keep the artillery. And then he loses 4. So 3 at 3. I'll miss. And then 4s. I'll miss again. Oh my goodness gracious. 1 at 6. 7. And 3 at 7. 1, 10, 11. Wow. That's brutal. Only 1 hit. Which is all we needed, but still. 1 at 4. A 9. Okay. That was pretty stressful, actually. Alright, so we capture that. That is good for us. The counterattack could hurt. Probably will. But we will see. Alright, so that's all the battles. Now it's just non-combat. So we got to figure out where we're going to put all of our planes. So the bomber came from Siam. Got to move him to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to land in Shanghai. The other 2, the tactical came from Shanghai. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to move him to left, but we're going to keep him here. And then the fighter, veteran fighter, move him into 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he'll land there as well. This special naval landing force is going to move up 1. This air transport is going to go 1, 2, pick up this guy. 3, 4, and then 5 back where it is. Actually, we're going to move him here for 5. This air transport, going to pick up this 1 infantry. And 1, 2, 3, 4, drop him off as well. These 3 infantry are just going to move up to Seshi. So that's it for that. This fighter came from here, 1, 2, 3. And he'll go with the other fighters as well. And the fighters that took part in Sumatra just went back to Siam, and then the 2 on the carrier. So that should be good. We have in our main fleet, we got 2 destroyers that we're going to separate from the main fleet. So that's in 88. It's going to move here, pick up this guy, and then move 2 more spaces to 70. and we're going to drop him off in Siam. Oh, sorry. So move from here to 70, and then drop that Special Naval Landing Force off in Siam to give us one extra troop. Our main fleet in 88 is going to move up to 92. These two destroyers are going to join them in 92. Our secondary fleet we have up here. So a Yamato is going to come down to 92. The fleet carrier as well. The fleet carrier is empty, but we'll have to get fighters for him next round. The cruiser and then the 4 destroyers, they're going to jump down with the main fleet, and these 2 subs as well. So the subs can go 1, 2, 3, or whatever. This cruiser in 85 is also going to join them. So we definitely beefed up this fleet quite a bit. So we'll see what he decides to do from there. I think that's it for moves. I think that's all we were allowed to do. I think we moved everything. Okay, so that is it. Unit placement. We're going to put 3 guys in Pickering. 3 regular guys. The 3 self-propelled artillery is going to go into Siam, and then Siam is going to build its own infantry force as well. So that's all down on this card here. And then 2 special naval landing force will go to Shanghai. So now we got 3 there, and then our fleet. An Yamato, transport, cruiser, 2 destroyers. All right, income. Okay, so income, we should have $96, 12 of which are bonuses. So we get $1 for owning this territory, $1 for Hong Kong, $5 for Singapore, and then $5 for owning all the Money Islands. And 84 comes from territories. So 96 total for a next turn. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, well, that's it for the Japanese. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a great day.